Hi guys, welcome back to my relaunch channel on does that make sense? Welcome back to my relaunch video. It's been a long overdue video. I haven't uploaded, I think, since February, which is really bad because honestly I've had a couple reasons not to upload, but I kind of should have uploaded anyway. They're not valid reasons really, but I'm going to talk to you about it. This is a story time. So in my house there is me, my mum and my dad, and that's all there ever has been. There's never been siblings or family members live with us at all. It's always just been us three as long as I've been alive. And I'm not as close as I want to be with my family, like any of my family. Like, you know how you have those like friends and they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to my nan's, and they just walk in. I don't have any grandparents anymore, so I can't do that, and there's a lot of people that can do that with their aunties and things, and I know I could, but I'm not that close to feel like I can, if that makes sense, because I know I can, I just don't. Yeah, and apparently, I don't remember this, but apparently our family used to be really close, but I was too young to remember it and such. I don't remember the family parties a lot and things like that, like the family gatherings and things. I don't remember it because I was so young when it happened, and by the time I got to the age where I could remember it, everyone moved away. My grandparents moved to Wales and so did my auntie, and you know, we got our own static caravan, which means we moved for majority of the year, so I've been on my own a lot, so I was a lonely kid. I never really had a friend that stuck, like, at all. I never had, like, I used to say they were my best friends, but about 3 or 4 months later I'd have a brand new best friend who I loved so much and I never wanted to lose and blah blah blah, but 90% of the people I called my best friend I don't speak to anymore, and that's including primary school and secondary school, because God knows I've had a different group of friends a lot. Like, I've been friends with so many different people, it's unreal. So, you know, I've gotten to the point where friends didn't really stick for me. I wasn't a very tolerant person. If someone was negative in my life or upset me or did something to me, I was very quickly kind of like, okay, bye, I don't want you anymore, and I'd find a new set of friends. But I feel like as an only child that's something that's just happened because you've never had to deal with being close with someone. Like, if I spent so much as a couple of days with someone at a time, I'd get annoyed because I've never had to share, because I've never had to, you know, spend that much time with someone. It doesn't mean that I'm spoiled, because I'm not, but I do share, it's just I'm not used to it. So, like, I like to have my own space. I like having somewhere to go. I like being able to have a certain area for myself, because, I mean, that's just me. I like to have it because I've always had it, I guess. And I've slowly started to introduce sharing in terms of like rooms and things, because, you know, eventually I do want to go to university and I am going to have to share space because God knows dormitories are really small, but it's something that I've slowly started to introduce into my life because I need to, because I can't go through life not sharing with someone. How am I supposed to have a relationship? God. I've only really had one friend that's stuck, and that's Gemma. You all know her, and she's kind of stuck with me, but right now in my life I've been probably the happiest I've ever been, but we'll come back to that. When I was 8 years old, my mum had a heart attack, and it was really scary for me. My dad was in India at the time working, because he got an opportunity to go and teach how to work the machines out in India because their company had moved to India, and my mum had a heart attack, and honestly, as an 8-year-old, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I didn't have a clue. And we had friends in our lives that they will be part of my life forever because of it, because without them, I wouldn't have been okay during that week, because I basically stayed with them for the whole week until my dad could get home. And they looked after me. I went to school with the girl that I stayed with and her sister and their parents, and they really helped my family out a lot. You know, they really helped, and you know, I'm not as close with them as I was, but like I'll still never forget what they did for me, because that week was one of the hardest weeks of my life that I remember of now, because heart attacks are scary. They are scary. My mum could have died, and that's a scary thought for me now, thinking back. At the time I was like, oh, mummy's ill, that's fine. But then as I'm getting older, I learnt what heart attack was. I knew what the risks were and things like that. And then it hit me how scary a heart attack was and how I could have lost my mum at such a young age. And a year after my mum had a heart attack, my nan died. And that's when my separation anxiety started. I went through a stage for about 3 to 5 years where I couldn't, like, I used to stay out quite a lot at people's houses at parties and sleepovers and stuff when I was like about 5 to 10, around those ages. I used to stay out like every couple of weekends. And I got to, after my mum had the heart attack and my nan passed, I got really bad separation anxiety and I couldn't stay at home, and I actually stayed at a friend's house that is legit, I mean, 3 doors away from my house, and I had to come home because I didn't know where my mum was. And one time we were all in the same building, and they didn't tell me they were going to the bathroom, and I ran round at the age of 10 crying my eyes out because I didn't know where she was. And thinking back now, how stupid. But it took me up until I was about 11 years old to actually get over separation anxiety, because it's a scary thing what happened to me, that my mum nearly died. You know, it was scary, but we deal. So after that, I vowed that I was going to try and get a good friend, and I didn't until Gemma. But I come into sixth form and I wasn't the happiest person. You guys know about, you know, everything that happened 2 years ago. My nan, my granddad, my auntie and my mum's best friend, and how they all died in the same year, and they were all really important to me. They were massive impactors on my life. I used to see them every year, all the time, as much as I could, and they all died. My auntie died in September, my mum's best friend died in June, my grandma died in July, and my granddad died at the end of August. So yeah, so obviously that was a lot for me to handle with, as well as doing my GCSEs and as well as entering sixth form with losing a lot of my friends, because 2 of my closest friends had gone to college and it was just me, Gemma and our other friend, and we didn't really get on with many people in sixth form. It was mainly just us 3, and we kind of just focused on each other. Now, we didn't all do the same subjects, we all did different subjects, so they had the same lessons to start off with. Me, on the other hand, had about 5 hours on my own and they had 15 hours together. So I was kind of like, well, what am I gonna do? But then I met these amazing people, like these literally amazing people, and they, you know, if you've seen them on my Snapchat or my Instagram or Facebook, then you'll know them because I post a lot about them and I do a lot with them, and you know, you'll see them a lot throughout the next year and however long, you know, but you will see them and you have seen them, so you know who they are. But these are like really big people in my life right now. I do a lot with them and I have things planned with them. Like, I'm going to say your first names because people aren't going to know. Charlotte, like, I'm going to a concert with her. I've started going to the gym with her. I've started planning things in terms of trips and other things like that. And Angel, she's legit like the funniest person I've ever met. Like, she's so quirky and that's what I love about her because she's so funny. And Charlie, she's Charlie. She's just Charlie. There's no way to describe her. She's stunning. All of them are stunning. They're all like 10s, but you know, I appreciate them so much because although I've still got a Gemma, I wouldn't have got through 6th form without them people because, you know, they're in all my lessons and I spend a lot of my time with them now. And, you know, I rely on them as such. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they're like, ow. I can't imagine my life without them, if you know what I mean. I've got other people in my life now as well. Like, I generally have such a nice group of friends in my life. I'm in like 2 different group chats and it's just fun. My life is fun at the moment. I do things and although I have no money, I just enjoy life. I enjoy what I'm doing with life. And it's fun and I'm happy and throughout everything that's gone on in my life, because I lost all my grandparents at such a young age, and all the losses that I've had, like aunties, uncles, friends, and even just people who aren't in my life anymore, like it affects me like quite badly. Like there's someone in my life that I've lost this year and I got really, I wouldn't say ill, but I got really down about it, and I kind of lost myself. But I'm back and I'm better than ever, and I feel like a completely different person in terms of a good way. Like I'm different in a good way. Like I have new hair and I have confidence, and it's because of the people in my life right now. And you know, I've just joined the gym, which I was really scared to do because I have such bad body confidence and I don't like the idea of exercising in public at all, but I'm doing it and I have enjoyed the first time I went, and I'm planning on continuing going, so you know, there's that. And honestly, I'm really happy and I don't know what else to say, but this is a relaunch video to kind of explain my life to you. Like, it's kind of going like the negative, but you know how I've come out the other end and I'm spruing into a beautiful butterfly, I hope, because yeah, happiness, but all I want to say is that I'm back, hopefully for a long run, because I really enjoy YouTube and I enjoy making videos, and I don't not want to do YouTube. It's just that I lost myself and I couldn't build up the courage to film videos. I am going to do a whole video based on body confidence and self-confidence and self-esteem, because for me that was a massive compactor to the way I was feeling and why I didn't upload, because, you know, it's me. And yeah, but after that video it will definitely be a lot more upbeat and a lot happier, because I'm back, baby, and I'm back for good. Yeah, not that anyone cares. Here we go. Bye!